Testing, testing. What is good, light benders? I know where I'm at. Back for another video. Empress frequency here. The topic of today's discussion is they don't teach you this in school. Does that make sense? Is that what it is? That the name of the video? They don't teach you this. Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah. Make sure you guys watch to the end because I got a great video clip for you. Do me a favor before we get started. Hit that bell for notifications because I'll be uploading. I'm making the commitment to upload on Wednesdays and Sundays. So y'all who know me, hold me to that. In the words of the Jesuits, give me a child until it is 7, and I will show you the man. Now, this is kind of a spinoff from my last video. Well, not my last video, but the video before the last video. If you guys ain't check out that video, go check that video out. But with that being said, critical thinking teaches you how to think for yourself. And I know you guys are saying, I know how to think for myself. Well, actually, you don't. Because pretty much everything that you learned was taught to you. You didn't think those things. You were told those things. You were told how to act. You were told how to think. You were told how to feel. So, question is, well, how many thoughts are actually our own? And when I say that, I'm saying, well, how many thoughts have you thought is an original thought? Meaning, no one else has thought that thought before or said that thought out loud. I'll wait. Just think about it, guys. We are taught how to write, recite, memorize, remember, repeat. I mean, all of those things that you know thus far is really coming from outside you, the outside source, not from inside of you. So what does your higher self, your inner self, think or have thought that you haven't said yet? Because all of us went through the school system, we all have been programmed at the most critical, sensory, inducive age, and we have all these old habits and beliefs that are embedded in our subconscious, but we have to reprogram, and critical thinking is the way. Man, can I just show y'all real quick? Oh, I love when the leaves turn. Yeah. I hit that note. She bad. Badass singing. So when we take a look at the brain, on the left side is reason and logic. Now that's the part of your brain that you use 95% of the time. And on the right side of the brain is where you have your creativity, your feeling, your emotions, and spirituality. And imagination, the imagination, and all that darkness behind your eyelids is where you are connected to source energy and infinite possibilities. That's why meditation is so important. Now, earlier I mentioned about all the implanting and inputting of information into your mainframe, your mind, your subconscious. But that connection to source is all you really need. Question anything and everything until your inner knowing is satisfied with the answers from the questions that you ask self. Hey guys, I don't know if you know this, but babies actually come here knowing everything that it needs to know to achieve its life's purpose. Big ass branch right here. Should I step over it? I'm stepping over it. But yeah, because they have just come from source. So they know their connection to source. But they're also in a theta state. So they are absorbing any and everything in their environment. And by the time that they're 7 years old, forget what their life's purpose is. And that's why so many of us today, by the time we turn 30, we go through like some type of crisis and be like, I don't know what the hell I've been doing with my life. Or why this hasn't happened yet. Why that doesn't happen yet. With those influences and inputs and those first 7 years of life, if we are not careful, we are going to subconsciously, unconsciously live our lives based off of our first 7 years of life's goals, structure, beliefs, habits, and values. Now, how crazy does that sound? It's like you're basically still a child. The act of critical thinking is being consciously aware of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs at all times and consistently evaluating them and transforming them. Now, I know that sounds like it's constant work. It actually is. But isn't your mind already constantly working anyway? Long story short, if something pops up and you don't agree with it, it doesn't sit right with you, ask yourself why that is. Pay attention to everything that you think, and if you don't like how you're thinking it, then stop thinking it in that way. If you don't understand a thought, ask yourself, where did that thought originate from? If you don't understand the condition, ask yourself, how did that condition become about? Who told you that, I don't know, you were depressed? Or who told you that you weren't smart enough? Who told you that your ideas weren't going to work? How long ago was that said? And why do you still think that way? So, if it doesn't sit right with you, research it, meditate on it, continue to teach yourself and learn new things. That's how you grow spiritually. We change our thoughts, we change our lives. Stop asking yourself why I don't have this, why I don't have that, and start asking yourself, what will it take to get it? Knowledge is not power. It is potential power. It is only power if you utilize what you've learned. Yeah. I'm a two-step on that one. Alright, let me stop. So that was a little short video. Guys, if you like the video, please share this video with your friends, your family, and especially the kids. Cause Empress Frequency love the kids. Oh yeah, I promise you guys a short clip. So, without further ado, Dr. Bruce Lipton, everybody. Till next time, peace.
95% of our life is coming from the programs of how to live life that we get in the first 7 years of life. And that's why poor people stay poor and rich people stay rich. The movie The Matrix is not science fiction, it's a documentary. Every human, and it's a fact, every human first 7 years is downloaded hypnosis. The brain of a child under 7 is in a lower vibrational frequency. When you put wires on a person's head, you read electroencephalograph, reading brain activity. A child below 7 has a lower vibration than consciousness. It's called theta. Theta is imagination. Oh, that's how kids play tea party with mud pies, but to them it's a real thing. A kid rides a broom, it's a horse. That's theta, imagination. Theta is also hypnosis. And the idea is this: before you can become conscious, if you don't have any programs, what are you going to be conscious of? So nature makes the first 7 years. What kind of programs are required to live on this planet? I say, how do you get them? Theta is hypnosis. You just watch. You watch your parents, you watch your siblings, and your community, because you have to learn how many 100,000 rules. Think about it. Just to be a functional member of a family and a functional member of a community, there are rules. Teach an infant these rules. But you don't have to. First 7 years, they observe it and just download it. And then I say, why is it relevant? Because this is the unfortunate fact. 95% of our life comes from those programs in the subconscious. Every day, only about 5% of the life are you using conscious, which is creative. 5%. And you don't see it because it's called subconscious, below conscious. And the Jesuits for 400 years, they were boasting. People didn't understand. They say, give me a child until it's 7 and I will show you the man. They've been saying that for 400 years because they knew 7 years was the program period. And 95% of your life after that will be whatever that program is. A child isn't functioning in consciousness until after 7. Before 7 is direct record. Whatever you just said, I just recorded it. So if the parent gets mad at the child and says, you don't deserve that, you don't deserve this, go. The child is not consciously understanding what you mean. The child just recorded, I do not deserve it. Now, if I hear that several times, especially in an emotional situation, because that downloads is faster, and now I'm 40, 50 years old, what is my behavior 95% of the time? The answer is what comes from the program. I do not deserve. Well, that means unconsciously I will sabotage myself to make sure that the program is correct. I'm making the program true by adjusting the behavior to meet the program. Look, this is not new. I mean, there's a famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And basically said you come from a poor family and you could struggle your whole life and try to get rich, but you're not going to make it. And if you come from a rich family, you could be stupid your whole life and make it. Not because it was thinking, but it was unconscious behavior that was downloaded from rich families into kids, which is unconscious. So they're making the right moves unconsciously. If they engage their conscious mind, then they look stupid, but it's unconscious. And that's the same thing with poor people. Poor people have beliefs from the family. Oh, you can't make it. Life's a struggle. Things are hard. Who do you think you are? And if that's the program you get, then 95% of the day you will sabotage yourself. And that's why poor people stay poor and rich people stay rich, because of the program. Before I put this knowledge into effect, and I use the word put into effect, why? I had the knowledge academically. It's like, oh my God, look at the research. What does it mean? I understood it from the level. And with all that knowledge, it didn't change my life. People read self-help books. I go, well, you read the book, you got a lot of knowledge. Is your life changed? No, but you got a lot of knowledge. And so here's the difference. The conscious mind is creative and can learn in any number of ways. Read a self-help book, go to a lecture, listen to this, and conscious mind's going to get some awareness. And I go, yeah, but subconscious mind doesn't learn that way. Subconscious mind learns in 2 fundamental ways naturally. Hypnosis, which is the first 7 years, and after age 7, how do you put new programs in? Repetition, practice. You want to drive a car, you didn't learn how by just getting in the seat and put the key in. You had to practice driving the car. You want to learn the alphabet. How many times did you go from A to Z? Try to go to A to Z before you can complete it. And once you completed it, you didn't have to go back and do it again. So 2 phases. You want to train the subconscious mind? Hypnosis, repetition. I like the last one because there's a new phrase that's bandied about called fake it till you make it. Meaning, if you're not a happy person, I say, you want to be a happy person? Then repeat all the time, I'm happy, I'm happy. I say, well, you don't look happy or anything. He says, no, who am I talking to? By repetition, I'm talking to subconscious. If subconscious gets, I am happy, and 95% of your life comes from that subconscious, there will be a point once the subconscious got, I am happy, you don't have to say it again. It'll be automatic. It's repetitive. That's the secret part. Putting a sticky note on the refrigerator is more like a suggestion, but it's not a repetition. So it doesn't work very well. Repetition is a habit. It's making habit. So you got to do something religiously in the sense of repeating it to make it work.
What do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?